Hello, Wizards fans. We're here in the Monumental Network studios. Jamoke Davis and Haley Milan here for the show we like to call American Express Home Court Advantage. We're counting down to the end of the season, second to last show, as the Wizards take on the, yes, what were you going to say? They're taking on the New York Knicks. This may be
flies by when you're having
does.
fun.
It
we
really
have one
does.
Regular season game coming.
I can't believe it.
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
it. Ryan's still here trying to get out
We have our junior reporter. He is right there.
There he is, right in the
Star of
corner
the show
behind you,
always.
Haley.
He's got to steal the show.
Yeah, no Nene, no Pierce.
No Nene
They're both
tonight.
going to rest tonight.
That's right. We'll see Otto.
Yeah, it'll be good to see Otto. Hopefully he can get another 15-point game out of him.
That's right. The Wizards are coming off of a win on Wednesday over the 76ers, who were looking to snap their losing skid, but they couldn't do it against the Wizards. They were just dominant here on their home court. We'll talk about that game in just a little bit. And we're on our final game of the longest homestand of the season here. It's been 5 games here at home, and the Wizards are looking to take advantage of that 8-game losing streak that the New York Knicks are currently on. So tonight, our Twitter question for you guys is, who on the Wizards' second unit is going to make the biggest impact down the stretch and why? Let us know using hashtag AmexWizards, and we're going to have a little chat about it towards the end of the show. And Jamoke will give us his analysis of the second unit, of course. The second unit has kind of been a little shaky, as we saw on Wednesday. All right, but back to the end of the season coming up. Fan appreciation next week, the 6th through the 12th. That's right, the Wizards are celebrating you guys, the fans. So thank you for all of your loyalty this season, and you can head over to WashingtonWizards.com. And if you're a member of the DC 12 Club, you're automatically entered to win hourly prizes, but if you're not a member, you can enter anyway. Next game Sunday versus the Atlanta Hawks, all fans in attendance will receive a water bottle, so make sure you come on out and support the Wizards on their last home game before the playoffs, and get a water bottle to keep you cool during the playoffs because you need to keep yourself cool and hydrated during the playoffs.
On that game.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so the Wizards are currently the 5th seed in the Eastern Conference. So yeah, they're playing for seeding right now.
3 games behind the Raptors and Bulls.
Yep, but they are happy to be in the playoffs, and Wizards fans got to get ready. Hashtag DC Rising. We want to see tons of Wizards gear around DC. But let's talk about that game against the 76ers on Wednesday. They got a 106-93 win over Philadelphia. Otto Porter showed up. He had yet another 15-point performance. He's averaging 10 points when he starts, but we're only seeing him improve when he is in the starting lineup. Wall recorded his 38th double-double of the season with 13 points and 18 assists. And then Beal had 20 points. And then Marcin Gortat, yet another great performance from him, 23 points and a 14-rebound effort. Now they were leading by as many as 34 in the third quarter. Coach put the reserves in, and they gave up that 15-0 run, 5 straight threes for the 76ers, and then they put Beal, Wall, and Pierce back in. So it's like those guys couldn't catch a break, and you want your starters to rest coming in towards the playoffs and for them to be ready to go for that first round of games. But given the second unit's inability to maintain a huge lead, they weren't able to. What's the issue with the second unit?
I think the second unit, you want to see some improvement when Ramon Sessions were brought in to be able to pick up the pace. But I think another thing you have to think about with this game in particular is the fact that one of those guys who would have been coming off the bench, Otto Porter, was in the starting spot. So that actually does change the dynamic of the bench. And I think that actually played a part in it. But there were 2 good highlights. Kevin Seraphin, I got to hand it to him. From that perspective, the bench was great. A highlight reel type play that made it around the sporting world right here. Bang! That was just a sweet play, and Bradley Beal had one later that I'll get to as well. But starting the game right, Gortat, Wall was finding him. He had 13 points in that first quarter alone. John Wall, 7 of his 15 assists were to Marcin Gortat. When he's hitting, it spaces the floor, and then Bradley Beal can get his open shots. And then right here, here's that second highlight. The block and the dunk for him. That made SportsCenter and all the other games that you would see. When they would show the highlights of the Wizards, that was a play that you would see. John Wall was magnificent as well, but I think the big thing he did was the assist. That was key. And as you talked about Otto Porter stepping up, he can make it again tonight. That'll be 3 straight games where he's had 15 or more points. I think that's going to be very key for them. Humphries coming back is good too, but it's Wall. When he has 15 or more assists, the Wizards are 11-1. That means he's distributing the ball, getting his teammates going early, and they start feeling good.
All right, so for more on tonight's matchup, you say that the second unit has just kind of shifted because you have Pierce sitting, and obviously Humphries is back in the mix, so that kind of speaks for why they've been slacking a little bit.
And they do have to work on their execution down the stretch. Don't get me wrong. That is really key for them, especially going into the playoffs. That's going to be important. But I think in this case, maybe part of it was because Otto was in that starter's role.
Right, of course. Well, Coach Whitman talked about that a little earlier today, and he also talked about facing the New York Knicks tonight. So here's what he had to say.
Bradley Beal ranks 47th in the NBA at three-point attempts per game. Is that something that as a staff that you discuss with him about?
Sure. It's about being aggressive, shot attempts. It doesn't just have to be threes. Everybody's kind of, it's got to be just the attempts and being aggressive from an offensive standpoint. Make or miss. That's a factor that's always important for us in terms of who Bradley is, because they're going to guard him. And so even if you're not making or missing, it's not a factor. And sometimes when he misses a couple shots, he tends to take a back seat sometimes. But I thought last game, what did he get? 18 attempts up. Last game. That's what we're looking for.
What's the biggest thing you have to worry about out of New York tonight?
It's the same thing we've faced. I mean, there's a lot of guys on this team that got a lot to prove. Moving in the direction they are and looking at next year, guys, they're going to be hungry. They're going to come out. They got some athletic people that they're going to get after you. They're going to, play hard, and we got to come out with a focus like we did last game, right from the start.
Kind of foresee that
again? Everything gets tightened up a little bit once you get to the playoffs. You don't play back-to-backs anymore. You have time for recovery, so everything gets tightened a little bit. Whether it's 8 or 9, it doesn't matter. But we'll continually look at that, depending on who we play and the kind of matchup that we need and who we need on the floor.
All right, that was head coach Randy Whitman. Keep tweeting using hashtag AmexWizards. Our question tonight is who is going to come off the bench and make an impact down the stretch. We're going to chat about that in just a little bit in the show, but first we're going to talk about the task at hand, the New York Knicks. So let's talk about this, about the starting lineup for the Wizards. We have Wall and Beal, of course, the dynamic duo, and we'll probably see some Otto action. But I think that Wall and Beal are going to be crucial tonight. They're going up against a pretty weak backcourt in Shane Larkin and Langston Galloway. What do you think the starting five needs to do to replicate that great performance that they had against Philadelphia on Wednesday?
I think the beginning, as we go to, we just showed a little bit of it in the recap, is I think it's going to be important to go back to the big men early. When the big men are making their shots, you can space the floor, which I think will be key, and also just sharing the ball. The team was 2 below their season high with 33 assists last night. I think that played a key part. Marcin Gortat played beautifully in that last game and plays well against the Knicks, and they will not play tonight, but I think they can still take advantage of the Knicks in the paint. In the front court, if they hit their shots, and the back court can hit their shots. They can make plays like that because the floor will be spaced. John Wall can attack the basket, get to the free throw line, and then Bradley Beal. He had his first 20-point game since mid-March. He attempted 9 shots his first time since January 31st. That was done. So hopefully he'll get a lot of shots tonight. Chris Humphries back. That also is good. He needs to try to find a way to get into a rhythm. And Kevin Seraphin will see more time with Nene sitting on the bench as well. Ramon Sessions, let's hope we see more out of him to be able to get that second unit going along with Rasul Butler. I think if we can have a better game like that, maybe they won't lose that 33-34 point lead and just have a 33-34 point win.
All right, well, earlier today we caught up with Otto Porter to see what he had to say about tonight's matchup against the New York Knicks, and here he is.
Just being focused and ready to play. You can't come out and get off to a slow start. This is a New York team. They can score a lot, and they play hard. You get a team that play hard all the time, you can't come out, slow and things like that. So you definitely got to come out focused. You just want to, first off, get the older guys rest, first off. And second off, you want to come in and show coach that, that he can trust you, out there playing, playing great defense, getting rebounds. And just go out there showing that you playing for your teammates. Go out there and play hard.
All right, that was Otto Porter talking about tonight's matchup, and keep tweeting #AmexWizards and tell us who you think is going to make an impact from the second unit down the stretch and why. Again, that's #AmexWizards. And if you're joining us here in the bowl, come up outside of section 422, 423. Welcome. We want to see you guys ready for the Wizards to take on the New York Knicks in this final game of this 5-game homestand. So get up here behind our set, get yourselves on screen, and keep tweeting #AmexWizards. Okay, so let's take a look at this New York Knicks squad that the Wizards are facing tonight. They are 5-33 on the road, so the Wizards don't want to take a loss at home to the Knicks. Starting 5, Langston Galloway and Shane Larkin in the backcourt, as we talked about. Then Lance Thomas and Lou Amundsen and Andrea Bargnani is a stretch 4. That's going to be a struggle. We've seen the Wizards kind of struggle facing stretch 4s. He can shoot from the perimeter. He's dangerous on the interior. What are the Wizards going to do to defend him?
I think what they're going to do is contest his jumper. They're going to have to find ways to definitely be physical with him. But in that triangle offense, you're also going to look for those cutters. When he has the ball, maybe Shane Larkin is going to be dive into the basket, he'll get the little dish pass and lay it up. So you got to watch out for that. But ramp up the pressure. I think that's going to be key for the Wizards as well, as what they did in that last game. But as you mentioned, they don't have Carmelo Anthony for the season, so the pressure is going to fall on Bargnani. That he's been their leader. We'll see if he can continue to do that tonight. He can hit that 15-footer with ease. He's playing well of late. This is the first time he actually will be facing the Wizards tonight, but he can help spread the floor. The thing is, just as Otto said, you don't want to take this team lightly. They can fill it up. Wizards team president Ernie Grunfeld, he was a Knicks fan, played for the Knicks, was in the front office for the Knicks, so I know this is a special game for him. Would like to see the Wizards get a victory. They swept the Knicks last year. Like to see them get a win tonight and sweep them again.
Yeah, could get another sweep, go 4-0 against the Wizards. All right, we're happy to see you guys show up behind our set, 422, 423. What's up to our fans behind? Oh, I see a New York Knicks fan. Uh-oh.
You know what happened last game? We had an opposing fan here.
Yeah, we had to pie a couple of 76ers fans, so these guys better be careful crashing our set. But this isn't the first time my set has been crashed this week, I was shooting our new highlight show, DMV Sports Central, a couple days ago, and Dan, the man with the fan, Dan Nolan.
He's always trying to get camera time.
Yeah, he really is. He crashed my set, so did G-Man. So he got an exclusive interview with G-Man, of course, so here it is.
All right, welcome back to DMV Sports Central. We're here with G-Man of the Washington Wizards. He can't do a lot of talking, but he can do a lot of hand motions. We have a whole list of things here that go on during Wizards games, and we're going to see how he responds to the following scenarios. Okay, G-Man, we've got a nay-nay slam dunk. What do? Raise the roof. A lot of people raise the roof. Okay, we've got a John Wall assist through the legs. Okay. All right, you've got trampoline dunks. You all of a sudden do a whole front flip. What do? Do the Cam Newton. Superman. Okay, last one. Wizards victory in the NBA Finals. What do? That's going to do it. For G-Man, I'm Dan. We'll see y'all later.
So what do you know? Dan crashes my set, and G-Man faints.
Don't let him in here. All these shenanigans on the set here.
Do you think I could
DMV.
score?
It's a highlight show.
Could I score an exclusive with G-Man?
I think you could.
All right, well, we'll definitely have you on the
show.
show. I don't think so either.
Maybe G-Wiz.
Yeah.
Bring on G-Wiz.
G-Wiz, he's a little nicer, but check it out every week. You got top moments in DMV sports, Caps, Wizards, everything, even college. So DMV Sports Central. Check it out on Monday, beginning of the week. Monumental Network, yes. All right, so our Twitter question for you guys today was who on the second unit is going to come out and make an impact down the stretch and why? We're going to get to some of your tweets now. At MarsWago says, #KSLife, he's got such a big presence down low. #AmexWizards. All right, and KS Life likes to see that hashtag go in.
At Caden14, Hashtag
Kedden.
Amex Wizards. You think it's Kedden?
I think Kedden.
Okay, I'm gonna keep butchering these as much as I can.
That's what
Hashtag
you do.
Amex Wizards. Drew Gooden, because he can rebound great and play good defense. He does play well towards the end of the season, very well.
All right, and at Nobles54 is giving
Nobles.
Nobles? Oh, my bad. Sorry, Nobles.
That's not it.
Is giving Chris Humphries some love. He says Humphries will be needed for his toughness, boards, and his jumper. Hashtag Amex Wizards. So Humphries gonna need to get himself involved and get in the mix come playoffs. All right. So who do you have that's gonna come out from the second unit and make an impact?
So, in my opinion, I think that the entire second unit needs to make more of an impact.
Could you put any more pressure on them?
Because the thing is, when it comes playoff time, you're really going to need them to step up. And I think if you can have, Kevin Seraphin one night, Chris Humphries another night, Ramon Sessions another night, when Otto Porter goes back to the bench, him one night. I think that's going to be the key, is finding different players, as Whitman has talked about all year, next man up. And, one night, a player may not have it. Maybe one of the starters doesn't have it. And he's got to go to Drew Gooden, who came in last year at the end of the season and played very well. And I think that's going to be the key for Whitman, is to be able to say, when he looks down that bench, no matter who he calls on, to be able to come in the game
Next man
and
up.
produce.
Yeah, I mean, that has been a huge strength of the Wizards in the first half of the
Hayes
season.
Life is my man, though.
Yeah,
but,
of
okay.
course. Having that depth was a huge advantage, and it was so exciting to see on any given night, anyone could step up and come in from the bench and score in double digits. But, since we've come into March and April, guys have gotten a little beaten up, and the bench has been depleted. And so getting some of that depth back will be hugely helpful
Yeah.
and crucial for the playoffs.
Chris Humphries, good to see
Absolutely.
him back.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
I don't even want to start saying goodbye,
I know.
because this
I've
is
gotten
like
used to this. It's
Yes.
been nice. 5-game homestand, guys. Our longest homestand of the
season. We're on a roll. We were doing
We
good.
really
And the
are.
Wizards, if they get a win tonight, they will finish this homestand with a winning record, 3-2, which will be very good. But yeah.
And with a sweep over New York.
Yes.
I want to see that.
Yes, that would be. We should have brought the broom over here.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. This is the end.
This is the
One
end.
more show for the regular season, that is, because we do have the playoffs. But anyway, hey,
Yeah.
look, we hope you're looking forward to Wizards basketball against the New York Knicks. Hopefully they can sweep the Knickerbockers. We will see you April 12th, Fan Appreciation Day, last game of the year against the Atlanta Hawks. That's going to be a good one. If they can beat the Atlanta Hawks at home,
Oh, yeah.
that is
That'd
going
be
to be a
huge.
momentum
Guys gotta
swing
come
for the
out.
Washington Wizards going to the playoffs. Don't forget, you'll get a nice water bottle presented by Verizon, some good gifts for you. They're going to have jersey off their back. It's going to be great.
Oh, yeah.
So until then, root on the Wizards. Enjoy the game today. Hope we prepared you for it. Ciao for now, everybody. See
Bye,
you next
everyone.
time.